Millionaire's blind daughter was stuck in the cold, until a poor single dad did the unthinkable. She was sitting alone on a park bench in the middle of a snowstorm. No coat, no phone, no way to call for help. And nobody stopped. Nobody even slowed down. Nobody, except one man who had almost nothing to give. What happened next changed two lives forever. And it will change the way you see the world too. Before we get into this story, if you're new here, welcome to Heartfelt Moments, the channel where we share true stories that remind us what it means to be human. If this kind of content moves your heart the way it moves ours, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment below. Your support means everything to us and helps these stories reach more people who need them. Now, let's talk about Emma. Emma Caldwell was 23 years old, the only daughter of Richard Caldwell, a self-made millionaire from Chicago who had built his fortune in real estate. From the outside, Emma's life looked picture perfect. She had grown up in a beautiful home, attended the best schools, and never wanted for anything material. But Emma had been blind since the age of 7, the result of a rare degenerative condition that had slowly stolen her sight over 2 painful years. Despite her blindness, Emma was fiercely independent. She had learned to navigate the world with a white cane, memorize the streets of her neighborhood, and refused to let her condition define her. Her father, Richard, admired her spirit but carried a quiet fear he never voiced out loud, the fear that one day, his daughter would need help and no one would be there to give it. That day came on a bitter January afternoon. Emma had taken her usual route to the coffee shop 3 blocks from her apartment. She did it every Tuesday. She knew every crack in the sidewalk, every turn, every sound. But that afternoon, a city work crew had set up an unexpected detour, rerouting pedestrians around a burst water main. The orange cones and the noise confused her. She turned the wrong way. Then turned again. And within 10 minutes, Emma Caldwell, a millionaire's daughter, was completely, helplessly lost in the middle of a Chicago snowstorm. The temperature had dropped to 12 degrees. She hadn't worn her heavy coat because the walk was only supposed to take 5 minutes. Her phone had died that morning, and she hadn't thought to charge it. She sat down on a bench to collect herself, her cane across her lap, her breath coming out in small white clouds. She could hear cars splashing through the slush, people hurrying past. She called out once, asking if anyone could help her. People kept moving. Minutes passed. Maybe 20. Maybe 30. Her fingers were going numb. That's when Marcus Webb walked by. Marcus was 31 years old, a warehouse worker from the South Side. He was raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, on his own after his wife had passed from cancer 2 years earlier. He worked the early shift 5 days a week, picked Lily up from school every afternoon, and spent his evenings helping her with homework and reading her bedtime stories. He didn't have much. His car had a cracked windshield he couldn't afford to fix. His winter jacket was secondhand. Some weeks, making rent was a prayer more than a certainty. That afternoon, Marcus was walking to the bus stop after his shift when he noticed Emma. He almost didn't stop. He was exhausted, running on 4 hours of sleep, and the bus came every 40 minutes in this part of town. But something about the way she was sitting stopped him cold. She wasn't on her phone. She wasn't waiting for someone. She was trembling, her lips pale, her eyes unfocused in a way that made his heart clench. He walked over and crouched down so he wasn't towering over her. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you okay? Do you need some help?" Emma exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for an hour. "I'm blind," she said quickly. "I got turned around. I don't know where I am and my phone is dead. I'm so sorry. I just need someone to help me find my street." Marcus didn't hesitate for a single second. He took off his own jacket and wrapped it around Emma's shoulders. She protested. He wouldn't hear it. Then he pulled out his own phone, got her address, and walked her every step of the way to her apartment, 14 blocks in the bitter cold, in just his hoodie, making sure she was warm while he shivered beside her. He kept her talking the entire way, asking about her day, telling her funny stories about Lily, making her laugh so she wouldn't be afraid. By the time they reached her door, Emma was safe, warm, and smiling. She insisted on getting his number. He gave it to her only because she wouldn't take no for an answer. When Emma told her father what had happened, Richard Caldwell was silent for a long time. He was a man who believed in transactions, in earning and deserving and fair exchange. But what Marcus Webb had done didn't fit into any of those categories. It was something simpler and rarer. It was pure human kindness. Richard tracked Marcus down, not to write him a check, though he did help him in ways that changed his family's life, but first, just to say thank you. To sit across from a man who had almost nothing and had given anyway, and to understand, maybe for the first time, what real wealth actually looks like. Marcus always said he didn't do anything special. He said any decent person would have done the same. But we all know that's not true. Because dozens of people walked past Emma that day. Only one stopped. Kindness doesn't ask what's in it for you. It doesn't check your bank account or your schedule. It just sees a person who needs help and says, I'm here. You don't have to be rich to change someone's life. You just have to be willing to stop. So today, wherever you are, be the one who stops. Be Marcus. The world needs more of him. And if this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist. Leave a comment below and tell us, has a stranger's kindness ever changed your life? We'd love to hear your story right here on Heartfelt Moments.